Hi guys, today's video is gonna be about how to find perfect stance for you for stability and balance. And it's not gonna be only about stability and balance, but also I'm gonna share common mistakes what many beginner intermediate players do. Plus I'm gonna give you practical tips how to achieve better sighting, because stance impacts your sighting, and straight cue movement, because your stance impacts your address position. So let's go. I will start video with the common mistakes, because if you know common mistakes, you can fix them and not do them, so you could improve it. So first common mistake what I see, that players standing too close to the table and their right leading leg for the right-handed is too much leaning to the table, and basically like I leaning backwards with my body. So I feel stretch in my hamstrings, in my calves. It's really uncomfortable. My back arm is too far away from my right leg, leading leg, and I feel really awkward. And there is no way that I can play for the long time and feel stable with balance. So don't do this. Now the second mistake is opposite, is standing too far away by leaning with the body forwards, yeah, and the right leg is leaning to the table direction. So first was away from the table, now it's to table direction. As you can see, there is a huge difference between right and left leg, and there is so much weight on my left leg. Feel really uncomfortable. Also, I don't feel that I can play for the long time. I feel my back pain, I feel my knee pain on my left leg. Really not good. And I feel tension in my back. So not only are we doing this for the cueing purposes to make sure that you move the cue well, we also do that your body feel comfortable and stable, you know. So don't do this as well. So those are two common mistakes when we stand. Second common mistakes is to stand with your leading leg inside or outside. So let's say there's the cue and my right leading leg is outside. So I feel that if I stand like that, I have to stand really wide, which is already a bad thing. And my chest is on my way. I mean, it's impossible to cue strike when your legs are outside the line or inside the line. So not only I feel uncomfortable in my stance, I really feel uncomfortable in my back. I don't have enough follow through because chest is on the way. And it just feels really weird and uncomfortable. So this is what I really see from beginner intermediate players. As they start out, they really stand badly. And second mistake is stand side on, which means standing outside with the right leading leg as a right-handed outside the cue line to the left. The problem is that I have to put my head on the cue like this, really comfortable, cannot side the ball properly. And also, when I move my cue without conscious effort, it goes to the right, outside. Impossible to move cue straight. And really, I feel uncomfortable, and it's impossible to achieve nice cueing with this kind of stance. So make sure that you don't stand too much outside or inside, because not only your cueing is not going to be good, but also you're going to feel really uncomfortable and have back, neck, knee pain, whatever. So don't do this. Those players who are really struggling with their game, technique, game knowledge, mindset, I want to let you know that I'm a certified world snooker coach, plus I'm training pool pyramid players every day, live, online classes, and I'm already helped many players all around the world to improve their overall game. When I stand too narrow, which I show you, feels like that it's really difficult to put my shoulder, right shoulder, leading arm shoulder to the line, because I cannot twist my hips in such a way, me specifically, to put elbow and shoulder behind the line. You shouldn't be like that, but in my specific case, I just feel really uncomfortable when I stand narrow. Like it's just impossible to put my address position correctly how I want. And I feel that automatically I pull in cue outside of the line, putting left hand side on the cue ball like that. So, don't stand too narrow, because not only you are off balance to the left, but it affects your cueing badly and you just feel also uncomfortable. I showed you how to stand narrow. Now I'm gonna be too wide, so leading leg is gonna be okay on the line. And I'm gonna stand like this. So I feel when I stand too wide, I'm pulling my cue offline in sighting position, and it's really difficult to stand, put my head on line properly. So I feel that I'm putting right hand side on the cue, which is not good. Like it's just, I have to move my body like that, and then I'm putting too much pressure on my right leg. And then my cue is going inside, so it goes to the left. So maybe my shoulder is like a little bit more inside in this case, but it just feels that I'm pulling my cue naturally to the left and putting right hand side on the cue. So also don't do this because it's uncomfortable. It's it makes your cueing off. So don't stand too narrow or too wide. For the most people, it's not gonna work. So we discussed common mistakes. Now you know what not to do. This is not workable option for most of players. I'm gonna give you a simple guide how to achieve it. So first thing, what you need to achieve is to have about shoulder distance apart, distance between your left and right leg. This is gonna work for many players. That's what most professionals do. So just make sure that you keep your right and left leg distance, shoulder distance apart or slightly more. Somebody like Judd Trump stands a little bit wider. Somebody else, like Chinese slim players who are really have slim features, stand a little bit more narrow. But they usually keep their shoulder distance apart or slightly more. This is the common theme in world snooker professional tour. So just keep in mind that kind of thing. Left and right distance is about shoulder distance apart. Left and right leg or slightly more. What kind of distance between left and right leg I should keep? I want to make as simple as possible and want to be as pragmatic as possible. So usually there are two styles of stances. There is a boxer stance when the left leg is slightly forward to the right. Usually this is like a square stance. The name for this term is like a square stance. And many players in the world tour doing this. They stand square to the shot. And the reason why they're doing this, they want to keep their head position for the right eye dominant players more straight like this. This is the reason why they are doing this. And my stance, boxer stance, I like to stand left leg even more further. Just make sure that you stand not too much forward, because then you're putting too much pressure on your left leg. And just keep your balance about, 50-50, 55-45, 55 on your right, 45 on the left, generally speaking, If the players who standing like this, Stephen Hendry, like the more square to the shot. So about 70% of his weight was on your right leg because he had natural flexibility and right eye dominance. So to be clear about that, what kind of stances I'm just going to give you a guide about cueing. So you just put a short test, small test on the baulk line here. And we're going to test cueing. So we talked about sighting a bit. To be clear, like left leg I put because I'm natural left eye dominant. So naturally I want to twist my head position to the left eye a little bit. I'm slightly left. So that's the reason why I'm keeping my left leg further to make as clear as possible. So I'm going to experiment by myself. I'm going to try to stand square to the shot and my original stance, and let's see how it's going to affect my cueing. So I come to the shot square to the shot, being with the left leg slightly forward. So I feel not only that I feel strange in my sighting position, but also I feel too square to the shot that my shoulder is sticking out. And when I play the shot, I feel that my cue goes inside. Please, camera, show. It's like if I stand square to the shot and a little bit narrow, my tip tends to go to the right more. So I know that this method for me is not optional, not good for me, because I feel I cannot put straight cue movement. Now if I put my left leg more further from me, my original way, I feel more balanced. I feel that my shoulder is behind my head a little bit more. And when I cue, I feel much straighter in my cue movement. I feel that I see and feel that it remains the straight line better. So you have to experiment with both ways and see which way is more optional, which way is better for you. And the last part I want to discuss about technical stance parts is your leading leg feet position direction. So in World Snooker Tour or amateur game, you're gonna see 3 common feet positions, foot direction positions. So there is most common in professional tour, straight or slightly more to the right, 45 degree. This is what you're gonna see in the professional tour, what they use for snooker. Few of them using wide feet position. You have to test out which feet position works for you. Like if you are setting your feet to the right too much, that means your chest is more away from the cue. If you put a little bit more square, 45 degree, your chest is getting closer to the cue. And if you are straight, your chest is closest to the cue. This is how body mechanics works. And you just have to test out how sighting and cueing is affected by feet position. So now I'm gonna start with the wide on, which I know that is not good for me. I'm gonna set my feet position wide. And I feel that I need to put my head too much on the left, which I feel that is not optional from the sighting perspective. Like I see the strange view a little bit. And I also feel that my cue is moving outside too much. So for me it's not optional. If I stand 45 degree angle like that, I feel that my head is more square, but still on my left eye, a little bit. And I feel that in this kind of position, I move my cue straightest. And if I put my foot position straight, here I feel again that my shoulder is sticking out. I feel too square to the shot and I feel that I don't have enough follow through. So I feel a little bit too compact and my cue goes to the left too much. So for me, the best position is 45 degree, but for you could be that you want to stand more square to the shot or more wide. Up to you, but you just have to experiment with the cue movement and the sighting position. So now I'm gonna summarize all the information, what you're looking for in your stance to achieve great sighting and cue movement. So short summary, what you need to do to achieve perfect stance for you. So keep around shoulder distance apart or slightly more than shoulder distance apart. Try to find optimal feet position. Is it straight, 45 degree, or wider, to make sure that your sighting position and cueing is the straightest. And third thing, try to find, I want to be more square to the shot or a little bit more side on, depending on your sighting and body mechanics preference. So for me, I am a little bit more side on. I keep my feet 45 degree angle, and I feel that I side the ball best and cue movement is the best because of the address position, stance, and my eyes balance. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe it if you are new, hit notifications, comment if you like the video, or give me ideas what you would like to see next to improve your overall game. Hopefully you really enjoyed. See you next time.